Good morning, everyone. I'm here again to show you my second journal, and I have completed another fat junk journal. So it has been a wonderful journey for me, and thank you so much for all your encouragement and your wonderful comments to keep me going with creating and doing art journaling. So it's been a pleasure to do this. And so this morning, I just wanted to show you I have replaced my front cover here. I don't know if you remember, but my dog ate my flowers. So I've decided just to change that up a little bit. And also the tie because it was a little bit short. And so let me just take you through a few different elements. Of the first few pages, you may have seen my other video, and that's fine. So I just wanted to give you a flip through of my completed journal. This here is going for the vintage look. As you can see, I've dabbed my coffee bag on the pages to age the page. And this next one is a cutout from a book, and I just love it. Says live each day to the full, enjoy what life has to offer. Such a beautiful reminder of enjoying life as it presents itself to us. Here again using vellum, and this is a flower which I have pressed in my new flower press, and I will have a video of my flowers which I have pressed a few weeks ago, and I will be making a video on that. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. And these flowers came from a magazine, and I've taken to using Posca pens, especially the white ones. I love how it just makes the page pop. Using Posca pens again, I just really like making marks on the page, don't you? Color swatches and flowers. I think it adds just a dimension to the page using fresh flowers which are pressed and dried. And more flowers from the garden. I love this one, experimenting with colors, and I'm very happy the way it turned out. This is tissue which I got from my mom's stash. She had a whole box of cards and bits and pieces, and I found some tissue, and I thought it would go with the vintage look. And yes, this I've just cut out from my box, my Faber-Castell box. Just wanted to keep the box because the colors are brilliant. This here is rose petals which was dried, and that's an Australian native. So the only problem with having these, it bulks up the journal, but that's okay. And here I've just drawn that flower on vellum, and I like the way it turns out when you put it against tissue paper. This here is another Australian native which has been dried, and it lives here in my pocket. Posca pens. I love Posca pens, the way in which it creates an extra dimension to the page. And this is watercolor. I got a doodle sheet, or rather a doodle coloring book, and it came with lots of flowers, and I thought instead of using color pencils, I decided to use watercolors, and I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. This year is a fabric with vintage roses. I had a small amount, and I thought that it would look good, so I cut them out and it would look good on a page. So I love the vintage flowers. And this is again another page from the doodle coloring book, and you experimenting with watercolors again. Trying to watercolor on vellum. So this time I think I reduced the water, and so it's not smudging as much, but still I love how it turned out. This year, this page is from a magazine, and I decided to cut that out because again it's flowers. Who doesn't love flowers? And making marks with Posca pens. Doodle coloring sheet, experimenting with purples and greens and blues this time. And this is vellum. I decided to doodle on some vellum. This is an interesting one. I had an envelope from a birthday card, and using Posca pens, decided to doodle on it. This is another doodle on a brown paper bag. And using Posca pens again. I think it just really adds that dimension, and experimenting with watercolors. Do you like experimenting with watercolors, or do you use Posca pens, and what is your experience of them? I would love to hear your comments on it. And this here, pinks and yellows and orange and black. Well, there's a little bit of orange and black. So I'm just trying different colors, trying to limit myself to 3 or 4 colors and see how it turns out. Vellum. I actually love doodling on vellum. And this one I have gone with a gray background. As you can see, this actually, so these are composers, music composers. So it's a music sheet. The cover was a nice vintage gray, and I decided to use that and have the and doodle on vellum with flowers and ferns and figs. And so yeah, let me know what you think. And this Posca pens, so this pattern actually was inspired by a cushion cover. Currently I am on holiday, and there was a cushion cover, and I really liked the look of it, so I thought, I wonder how it would turn out doodling on this paper. This is the same paper that I talked about before, the music sheet, and this is the cover, so it has that vintage look. And I also managed to get some black paper. This is a Montmartre A6 pad, and I decided to use my Posca pen. I love that. Um, that it pops out of the page and making marks using my Posca pens again. And this, what do you think of this? So this is actually fabric which I had in my stash probably over 20 years ago, and I decided to cut out the flowers and make something out of it. That's the same, but this time drawing flowers. And this here is a page in a magazine. I think it's a Better Homes and Gardens magazine. There was some traditional herbal tea pots, and it was talking about herbal teas, and I just love the photography on this page because it was vintage and it's beautiful. Seeing the rose petals and the tea leaves, so I thought using that as a base and then doodling on it. This also came from a magazine page, and I decided to doodle on that one, trying watercolors again, experimenting with my Posca pens. So this one I drew the black flowers first and then white over it. So yeah, it has quite a nice effect, I think. And this is the last page. Again, I decided to use watercolors, allow them to bleed, and went over it with black pen again and then white Posca pen. I actually quite like how it turned out. And this is the last page. Well, thank you for sharing this journey with me. It says never stop exploring. I don't think I am going to stop exploring because I was fearless in exploring my art in junk journaling. I have managed to try so many different things I would never have thought before. So thank you for sharing this time with me. Hope you enjoyed my flip through. If you like my video and want to support me, please like and subscribe. See you again in my next video.